Hi everybody, it's Tatiana, and today I am coming to do a quick book review of A Prince on Paper by Alyssa Cole. This is the fourth and final novel installation in her Reluctant Royals series that is set to release on April 30th. When I say quickly, it's primarily because today is April 28th and I am just sitting down to do this review. This book follows the story of Johan and Naya, and these are two characters that have been featured in other stories. If you don't know, the Reluctant Royal series is, while it's a series, they are a series of companion novels, so you don't have to read the novels in order. However, there is a little tidbit about some of the other characters in the series in each novel, so keep that in mind. But you could certainly read this without having read the other three novels prior to this, or the two novellas prior to this. What I really enjoyed about this story is how it delved into the mindset of these two characters in particular. They are both characters who have been affected by the things that have occurred to them in their lives. I feel more so than some of the other characters that are featured in this novel, in this series, and Cole does a good job of looking at how their past experiences and the people that they've been in relationship with previously, not necessarily romantic relationships, but relationships in general, have molded how they deal with situations, how they see themselves, how they deal with other people, and how and why they do some of the things that they do. Johan is a very outlandish pseudo-celebrity presence in this series, and Naya is a very mousy character who has been protected and hidden for the majority of the series. She makes her first appearance in the first novel, but there's a lot behind why she's been so protected and kept away, and the things that she's discovered about herself and about the people that she was in relationship with when we get to this novel. I really like the way that these characters worked separately. Even though the story is about the two of them coming together, there was a lot of work that they did on themselves and thinking that they did with themselves and dealing with their situation as coming together for their relationship as well as moving forward in their lives. And some of the other things and issues that are brought forth in this novel, in some ways I think were done well, and then there are some other things that were done that could have been, I don't know, expanded upon or done a little better. Some of the things just seemed a little wrapped up really easily, and Cole has done that in a couple of her other stories as well. It doesn't take away from my enjoyment of the story from my standpoint and my experience, but someone else who has a different experience than I may have more issues with that. Case in point, I will link in the description box below mashup review that was done. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I am spacing on your channel name and your name. I just found her channel like within the last 2 weeks, so that's why I'm spacing on it. But she did a review of the novella Once Ghosted, Twice Shy, and there are some things that she pointed or tapped into that I totally understood where she was coming from, because it's based on her experience and what she knows in regards to the issue that was brought forth between Lakotsi and Fabiola in that story. So I will link her channel and that video in the description box below. Please go check it out, because that's the kind of thing that I mean. Whereas it wasn't that big of a hang up for me, it might be more of an issue for other people who have a different experience. I am very much looking forward to reading the finished copy of this. It was an e-arc that I received from NetGalley in exchange for an honest review, and I probably should have said that at the beginning of the video. Oops. But it was an uncorrected proof, which is at the start of every chapter, and so it is evident that there are some corrections that need to be made in the final editing process of this story, which I'm sure has already happened now, since we're 2 days from publication date, and as well as some things that were not quite synced as far as the story goes that possibly will be cleaned up in the final released copy. So yeah, that is my review for that book. I hope that was good for you. I really enjoyed it. I am a fan of Alyssa Cole's writing, and I just really wanted to do this review of this story without necessarily going fully on my emotional responses to some of these things, because there are a lot of the self-counseling that these two characters did with each other I have experienced in my own life, as well as experienced in dealing and talking to other people who have a counseling background. So a lot of those things that they were going through and they were saying hit home for me, and I just think she did a really good job with those aspects. And I'm okay with the series ending, because this is the final novel in the Reluctant Royals series. I'm okay with the series ending because she remained consistent through this whole series, with each book being about this set of characters, these two characters. So you really feel like, now that I've read this 4th book in the uncorrected proof version, I've gotten the story of the characters that Alyssa Cole have decided matter, or are the forefront characters in this series, and I'm not looking for anybody else's story. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So I am going to go. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a good weekend, whenever you see this video. Peace out.